So a couple nights ago, the election. Did you go out in the street, or I went down to Times Square and kind of like soaked in the misery from everybody.
So I have to live a different life. So Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret that's on countless kill lists. Like there's radical groups that actively try to kill me. Having FBI change how I live my life. I had to come here to New York because of certain groups that are here. I had to bring a bodyguard. The UFC paid for it.
Wow.
Well, let's say something cool about the UFC, which I'm not very generous with compliments to. They brought out my bodyguard to take care of me. I picked him. It's one of my guys, and they took care of everything. I mean, they already had great security in place. They have somebody that's assigned in charge of that. But this is specifically for me. That fellow that was laying on that bed right there the whole time that finally was like, all right, we're good. Yeah, he was just checking you out.
All right. All right. Cool.
So no,
I'm glad I passed.
Yeah, I didn't go to Times Square. It's Veterans Day today. There's a I'm in New York City. There's a huge Veterans Day parade. I'm not there, obviously, so I can't go to those things. It's
So there's obvious, and some people don't think there's a whole lot, but active cells in New York to be concerned about.
Yeah, it's bad. New York City is dangerous. There are current cells in New York City that are working specifically to hurt Americans. Guys like me. I would be a target of opportunity. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be that opportunistic moment for them.
Has to suck. I mean, you have to change your life. You made, by doing what you do for the country, serving the country, and then you happen to get targeted because of that. I mean, these are real effects on how you actually have to live your life.
I talk. Like, I don't want people to misconstrue that I'm like calloused or there's some bravado here that's not what's happening. I have just accepted this. I've been in this occupation for 15 years. My house is a fortress, from cameras to security to bulletproof windows to safe rooms. My family is well protected. I'm traveling with a bodyguard, like dogs that weigh as much as you do, that walk around with my kids if they're the only thing that exist. Like my German Shepherd, you walk through my front door and you don't know us and he doesn't know you, you're being bit. He knows and has been trained to do exactly what he's supposed to do. It sucks, but this is my life.
Donald brought up. Talk about your wife. Is that how hard is that for her, or it's just part of the deal and she loves you and
she fell in love with me 10 years ago. I was already in Special Forces,
so she knew what she was signing on for. Kind of.
No, I mean, too. When I met her, she was a government contractor with a top secret security clearance working at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
She knew who I was and she knew what I did and she knew what I was going to be doing. This was eyes wide open for her. And still is. She is an asset. She is so smart. On the cybersecurity side and social media side, I tried at my hardest to be accessible to fans, and it's almost like an illusion through smoke and mirrors, because it's very carefully designed about. It feels like I'm accessible and that you can mail me things and I'll sign them and that you can interact with me on different social media platforms. And I try to be as accessible as I can be, but do not be deceived that you're being watched by Homeland Security and the FBI and a freaking brilliant woman that you don't want to mess with.
And then you throw in MMA to the mix as having another crazy career.
That's just a sport. It's just a sport.
That's the easy stuff.
Yeah.
So, Donald mentioned that you helped get him into the Trump rally, and you helped get him past his security clearance. What was that like? The now the president-elect.
Well, getting Cowboy, that dumbass, through security clearance to meet a president. He's a loose cannon, from like
who, him or Trump?
both. But let's talk Donald Cerrone first, from boot scooting with people on boats. Remember when he got in that fight with those guys on the boat?
Oh, I don't recall that.
Oh, he got charged. He almost missed a fight because of it. Like it was like road rage, but boat rage. That was a couple of years ago, and that's on his record, and I mean, he's a crazy guy that does crazy things, and that's his lifestyle. And sometimes there's legal repercussions that goes along with that. He also says crazy things, so getting him to meet the president-elect was not an easy task. Then he shows up with a shirt. Donald Cerrone shows up to meet Donald Trump in a shirt that has a picture of Trump on it. And he's like in a gangster pose with like chains, and he's wearing like Mexican pointed metal-toed boots with this like bejeweled velvet jacket. I was like, dude!
Did it say anything?
The shirt did. Or I said Trump.
Oh, okay. What was that like, meeting our president in a couple months?
So I was not a Trump fan at all. Like in any way. I knew that I was not going to be voting for Hillary. I didn't know who I was going to vote for. I didn't know if I was going to be writing in Nick Palmisano or Brian Stan or Jocko, or going true libertarian, even though I didn't think that Gary Johnson was a real libertarian. But when I met Trump's staff, I was floored. I mean, I went there very critically minded. Like I was there to show respect to the American flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance for the people that were there. That was why I was at that Trump rally.
But he invited you?
Yeah. Donald Trump asked me to come and lead that rally in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, which I said, not a problem. I'm proud to do that. I'll do that any day. I'll do that right now for you, But I went there critically to assess who he was and what he was about. And I was absolutely enthralled with the people that he had selected to be around him. He picked the best and the brightest. He poached the best people from private industry to the best people in politics, from writing his speeches to providing security to putting the lamps up. He had the best. And as an entrepreneur, that I have CEOs running my companies and the people that work for me, like that's all I want is good people around me.
Right.
Like that's like what I spend half my time as a businessman is trying to find those people. And he didn't just find good ones; he found the best. And and then he was genuine, and he was sincere, and he was gregarious. He had a great personality. His speech was fantastic. I was impressed.
So you think, because there's a lot of people out there that, besides being disappointed, that are worried that he's going to fly off the handle, but you feel that he's going to, obviously he's built a big business, that he'll get the right people to help in the right jobs.
Yeah, I think his presidency is not going to be who he is. It's going to be about what he can do, about the people that he surrounds himself with. And I very confidently think, believe, and hope that he's going to pick the best and the brightest for his cabinet and assign the best and the brightest in every single possible position he can around him.
Well, it'll be interesting. We'll start seeing we'll see. We'll see. But it's a question mark everybody's wondering, and a lot of us are really hoping that come through.
Yeah, we've had fake hope and change for 8 years. We had 2 elections that were based on that idea. This is the first honest, real chance that we have for hope and change. This is the first time I feel hopeful at all. And I'm not a Trump fan,
But were you, when you found out that he was going to get probably Pennsylvania and Ohio? What was your feeling? Were you happy or?
So I've been in Special Forces for 15 years. I'm at the end of my current enlistment, and I can either re-enlist and be in depth till my retirement, or I could get out right now. I was resolute that had Hillary Clinton been elected, I was not going to re-enlist.
Wow.
I had seen and I have worked with the State Department, and I have seen what it means to work for her, and I was not going to work for her. I've had friends die working for her. Like, this is real. I mean, this is not like some vestigial thing that I'm saying that is meaningless, that has no purpose, that has no point. This is like personal. Like, I know guys that died working for her. I know guys that were sitting on planes ready to go save lives, and they couldn't go because they weren't allowed to go.
And is this referring to Benghazi?
Yeah. Like, this is my era. I've been in Special Forces for 15 years, and we're talking about one of the first losses of an American ambassador since the 70s, since Iran. And I'm going to re-enlist. Not because of Trump, but because it's not her. I'm still on the fence about him. I don't know what's to come, and I don't like that.
Right.
But
there's two choices, essentially.
There shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But there are.
Donald mentioned that he was thinking about building a bunker with you, or that you were working on it. And I said, so who's on the top bunk? You were too. Are you guys building a bunker together?
How do you know I don't already have a bunker?
Oh, well, he may need your help to get his.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell you what I have.
Oh, we're not asking what you got.
Yeah.
But would you help Donald? It seems like he needs some help, and then he's a little confused because then he mentioned he might just take over a Walmart instead because it already has everything.
No, you don't want a Walmart. There's nothing in Walmart that you want. Yes, I will absolutely help Donald. I think he'll be perfectly fine, though, without my help.
All right. Hey, well, we appreciate your time and your service. And thanks for meeting with MMA Weekly.
Absolutely. Thanks for talking to me.